Hey everyone, Doug McNeilly here with Coldwell Banker Realty in Metro West Boston. So let's talk about the scenario where the buyer waives the mortgage contingency. And what does that mean for the seller? So what it means in the general sense is that if the buyer can't get their loan for some particular reason, the deposit is not protected. So some buyers are doing this to make their offers more enticing for the seller given sort of the competitive market that we're in. So the seller sort of needs to be aware of three main things. One is waiving the mortgage contingency is not the same as paying cash. The buyer still needs to get a loan to be able to close on the property. The other piece is that the quality of the pre-approval and the lender still matter. So sometimes you'll see the buyer not submitting their pre-approval with the offer. We still always ask for that here because we want to be able to vet the quality of the pre-approval and also the quality of the lender too. And if there are problems with either, we just want our sellers to be aware of that before they sign on the dotted line. And third, and this is probably the most important, is that just because the buyer waives the mortgage contingency, and if they don't get their mortgage, in theory that means the seller gets to keep the deposit, but doesn't always work out exactly that way, mainly because you need to have both parties sign releases if the seller is going to be able to keep that deposit. And typically the buyer will push back and try to get some of that deposit back. So those are sort of the three main things that the seller needs to be aware of in the scenario where the buyer is waiving the mortgage contingency on an offer. If you want to find out more, visit our blog. If you want to ask us a question, visit our blog too at metrowestbest.com.